Alright, in this video I'm going to do, sorry, I started already doing it, the back side. So right now I'm just going to tell you off the bat, I'm trying to show you calculator tricks, right? If you think the math is hard, you don't want to remember it, you don't know how to do the math, you're going to have to learn the tricks. So don't get confused, you just got to learn which one you like better. So I'm going to remind you on this problem, try to go a little faster, how to do it by hand, and then show you the trick to do it in the calculator. So for this one, it says the area of a rectangle is 42x to the 7, y to the 6 square yard. If the length of the rectangle is 7x squared, y to the 5th yard, which expression represents the width of a rectangle in yards? So real quickly, we have this rectangle, right? We know that the length is 7x squared, y to the 5th, and we're trying to figure out the width. So the width is something that we don't know. We do, however, know the area. And what is area real quick? Area is length times width. Okay, if you don't remember it, we will give it to you, but still, you need to kind of know that area is length times width. However, we do know the area. Okay, so area was 42x to the 7, y to the 6th, right? And it equaled my length, 7x squared, y to the 5th. However, it's the width that we're missing. So how do we find that missing piece? When these two are being multiplied on this side, right? What do we do between these two is we should divide. So I should have 42x to the 7, y to the 6, divided by 7x squared, y to the 5th. So very quickly, I'm going to do the shortcut, okay? I'm going to do it by hand. Remember, we have exponents, right? And we are dividing them. Do you remember what the law says when you're dividing? The law says if you have a base and you are dividing it by another base, you can take that base and just subtract the exponents. However, what do we do between the coefficients? That is division. We are still dividing. So what is 42 divided by 7? 42 divided by 7 gives us 6. So my first number should be a 6. Easy, right? If you have 7 x's at the top, 2 at the bottom, remember the law says we can just subtract what's 7 minus 2. It should leave me with 5. And if I have 6 at the top and 5 at the bottom, 6 minus 5 leaves me with 1, right? So your answer is C. Okay, so that is easier. The shortcut, when you're doing exponents, okay, I know I always tell you we use x and y. We use x and y. And that's very true. Okay, we always use x and y. Except with the exponents law, right? If you're trying to figure out how to get your answer, we got to change the x and the y. So I'm going to go on ahead and plug this in to Desmos. Okay, so I'm going to do 42. And remember, this is a trick. If you don't like it, you don't need to use it. All right, I had 42. All right, I had x to the 7 at the top, right? But we need to change that. So you can pick any letter. I would stick with A and B, so you don't get confused. We'll do A to the 7, and we'll do B to the 6th. Okay, and I'll explain why. We'll go to the bottom, and we'll do 7. Again, we're going to choose to do A squared, B to the 5th. Oh, no. I should have been at the bottom. Okay. B to the 5th. Okay. So does everyone see how it says add a slider? When you want to add a slider, you can only do it with X or the different letters, like A, B. You can't use it with X and Y. So that's why we had to change it. Okay. So now we can add a slider. All right, and we want to change it to a different number. So like I'll put A at 2 and B at 3. Okay? Doesn't matter what number, just make sure A and B are different. Doesn't matter. And try not to use 1. Okay? So just make sure they're different. So as long as they're different, it doesn't matter. So I got 2 and 3. A and B are both different. All right? Let's check our answer down here. 6x to the 5th y. Again, we're choosing to use A and B. So I use 6 A to the 5th, B. All right. Look here. When I assign them different numbers, it's going to give me a number. Did my answer choice match? Yes, that means that is the correct answer, okay? So anytime you're doing laws of exponents, this is actually the trick to figuring it out, okay? Had you used a different answer choice, those numbers would not have matched, right? So that is the trick. If you like it, use it. If you don't like it, you don't have to, okay? Just know that calculator can give you the answer. You just have to know how to play with the calculator. Number 6, do this quickly. This is again a law. It's a griddable, so you do have to know it. A to the 7th to the power 4 is equivalent to a to the n. What is the value of n? So again, they want us to find the exponent. So this one, you have to know the law. Remember, there's a parentheses and it's being raised to an exponent. That's our power law. What does it say? Right? The law says that when you have a base being raised to an exponent and then they take that and it's being raised to another exponent, what can we do between the exponents? The law says we can multiply them. So if my exponent here is 7 and the exponent there is 4, right? Okay, what is 7 times 4? Okay, that's the one number that you put in your griddable. That is your n. That's what they're looking for, the exponent. So 7 times 4, what do you get? Put that in the griddable. Number 7, okay, so this is where it's an exponent law again, and it wants to know which expression is equivalent. That's equal, meaning the same. And we just practiced doing the exponents on the calculator with number 5. So now you're going to see again how to do it with number 7. If you notice here, they already gave me A, B, C, so I don't need to change any variables. Okay, again, we only change the variables when we're doing the laws of exponents, right? And you'll know it's a law of exponents because there's a lot of going on. Okay? So I'm going to type all that in. Okay? So I'm going to go on ahead and since my fraction's already here, I'm just going to clear out my top. Right? And I'll put my top in, which was 18a to the 7, b to the 9, c to the negative 12. So remember all these laws happening. So I have 18 a to the 7, b to the 9. No. And then c to the negative 12. And all of that is over, let's clear that out, 15, a to the negative 5, b to the 4, c to the negative 4. So we're going to plug all that in at the bottom. 15 a to the negative 5, b to the 4, and then c to the negative 4. Okay, so notice it only gives you the option for add a slider C. That's already because we have the sliders for A and B from the previous problem. So yeah, let's just add a slider for C. So now we have A, B, and C. Remember, as long as the numbers are different and none of them are 1. So they're all different, and again, it doesn't matter. So it gave me that number. And then we just want to figure out which one is equivalent. So for example, I will try C for my first name, right? So we'll try 6b squared, c squared. So I'll type it in. Put your fraction. All right, the top is 6b squared, c squared. Oops, nope. Okay, so that was c squared. Sorry, you gotta make sure you put it back. And then the bottom was 5a squared. Okay. Do my numbers match? So are they equivalent? Sorry. So is that my answer? No, that's not my answer. So it's not C. Since it is a lot of time, we've used a lot of time, I'll go on ahead and just for today, eliminate one more. So going ahead and just try B and D and see which one is equal. Okay, all you got to do is change out this answer. Leave everything up there and then type in your answer choice. So you could type in B and D and see which one gives it. So type it in there and it has to give you that number. And it will if it's equivalent, if they're equal. And that's the trick to do exponents in the calculator. All right, real briefly, I'll try to do the other questions on the other video.